So there are many types of feeding strategies. So feeding with natural grown lab, plankton or lumot without any fertilization. Feeding with natural grown lab, plankton or lumot through use of organic and inorganic fertilization. Feeding with natural grown food plus supplemental feeds, and complete feeding and ad libitum feeding. Supplemental feeding on milkfish pond culture. So supplemental feeding is feeding with supplemental feed to meet nutrient requirement of fish for maintenance and growth when natural food is inadequate. Usually, supplemental feeding is given 1 month after milkfish fingerlings are stocked when their biomass is about 300 to 400 kg per hectare at rate of 2 to 4% of fish body weight. Um, when natural food or lab or lumot is low. So supplemental feeds could be in any form of formulated pellet feed. It could be commercial or homemade, or single ingredient feed like the rice bran, breadcrumbs, or any other natural or artificial food. So the feeding frequency is 3 times a day when natural food is scarce, and feed is given at 9 to 10 a.m., 12 to 1 p.m., and 4 to 5 p.m. So the total feed for the day will be divided into three, which is 25%, 40%, and 35% of such daily feed will be given to each feeding time respectively. So when natural food is abundant, a feeding frequency of 2 times per day is given at 9 to 10 a.m. and 3 to 4 p.m. So in tilapia culture, it is recommended that the feeding frequency is 3 times a day is the ideal for 25 to 100 grammars tilapia, and 2 times a day for those greater than 100 grammars. So complete feeding in milkfish and shrimp pond culture. So complete feeding is feeding with food that contains all the necessary nutrients such as protein, fat, carbohydrate, vitamin, and mineral, and with the sufficient amount of feeds required by fish for maintenance and growth. It is also a feeding strategy that is employed when a natural food is absent or negligible, and where formulated feed is given a day or two after fish stocking until 1 day before harvest. For the second type of complete feeding, the ad libitum feeding. Ad libitum feeding is giving unrestricted amount of feed until satiation or until the fish are fully satisfied that they do not consume all the given food within the usual feeding time. In complete feeding, it is better to employ the sliding feeding scheme. So for example, from high to low feeding rate, uh, example is the 12, 10, 8, 6, 4, 3% of fish biomass rather than the flat rate. So this feeding rate scheme had been established to be ideal for 4 months of shrimp culture. So to be economical in feeding and profitable with the undertaking, it is recommended that the fish to be fed to 90% satiation for the first 10 days and to 80% satiation for the rest of the culture period until harvest day.